What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Casual Highlights, where we strive to educate, inform, and inspire while having a casual conversation about sports. Today, we need to have the conversation about this NBA 75. 75 of the greatest NBA players of all time was released. The final roster was released Thursday night. I know everybody got their. I've been putting on my social media on Facebook, my disagreements, my barks and my beefs, but I want to go ahead and put it on video of how I really feel about this list because I know it's hard to put 75 players into perspective. Really, the hardest part about this particular list of 75 players was not really. It was really trying to fill out 25 spots. Because you already have the 50 already from when the 50 greatest, when we announced the 50 greatest back in 96, 97 season. So it was hard to figure out which were the next 25 because why would you remove on the 75 list those original 50 who were on there? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? So really the beef is about who was on the 25. And there were some notable people that I think were left out. There was I'm gonna call them the snubs. There were some snubs that were left off this particular list, and I'm gonna even replace some that I liked. I like most of these players on this list, but some I think the body of work, other body of work, a little bit better than somebody else, and I think they were more deserving. And so let's look at the original 50. We gonna keep intact. We know what time it was with Shaq, Jordan, Magic, Bird, Nate Archibald, those particular people. Now, one name that keeps floating in the air that I never saw play, but I remember him. I remember watching highlight tapes of him growing up was Alex English. And if you was living in that time period in the 70s, 80s, you watched him, Alex English was that dude. He just never won an NBA title, period. But Alex English was that dude. And that's one of the notables that I picked up that the older generation, I'm a millennial, but the generation before me, his name kept coming up was Alex English. But I'm going to talk about some players who are on this list. The 11 active players right now, you have Giannis, Carmelo, Giannis, the Greek Freak, Carmelo Anthony, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, James Harden, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, and Russell Westbrook. And then you got the players like who just retired a couple years ago, Tim Duncan, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, very well. Much deserved. Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, those particular people deserved it. Now, my opinion of this particular list, I believe, is these are players who impacted the game and took the game to a different level to keep our eyes glued to the TV. And they made an impact and changed some type of dynamic in the NBA. Or in other words, you were a trendsetter. Allen Iverson was that trendsetter. Kevin Garnett, coming straight out of high school, was that trendsetter. Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality, trendsetter. LeBron. We know DWade, trendsetter. When you carry a team on your back and you're down 0-2, literally about to be down 0-3 in the NBA Finals, and you bring your team all the way back to win, that's trendsetting. Now, I have beef with a couple of these people, but let me tell you, the people who I thought should have been on this particular list that I think did not get on the team. One of the people was Tony Parker. I know I might get some backlash about Tony Parker. Tony Parker, 18, 19 years old, coming out of France, playing under probably one of the most greatest coaches in NBA history named Greg Popovich, and took that team and won 5 championships with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan would not have 5 world championships without a Tony Parker. Okay? Tony Parker was already playing professional ball. And then he came over here and took his game to a different level. Was a Finals MVP as well, and kept the Spurs like in the top 2 or 3 in the Western Conference Finals for years. All right. Tony Parker was one of them people who I think should have had more eyes on him and considered to be on this particular list. The next player I think that we got to look at too was, and there might be some disagreement on this one, and people might agree with Tony Parker, but you got to look at Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili was another glue person as well that was part of that Spurs team. The reason why I think, and the Spurs didn't get any particular love until Kawhi Leonard showed up. That's just my opinion about the Spurs. They didn't get, I mean, they get the respect now, but back then you thought they were boring. They wasn't exciting. It wasn't exciting basketball. It wasn't flashy whatsoever, because that whole team was fundamentals. The Autumn Championships was fundamentals. Then you see this quiet guy named Kawhi Leonard, and then you get all happy. But Manu Ginobili was another international player. Ginobili was that dude. If you look at even his Olympic record, like how they won the gold medal in 2004 in the Olympic Games. Dude is great. I think he should have got some more looks on this particular list. I know you have your Ray Allen, your Reggie Miller, clutch shooters, Damian Lillard, Carmelo. Carmelo should have been on there because Carmelo's a scorer. I get that one. But yeah, the person that should have been looked at was Manu Ginobili. Another one that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, wait a minute, why did we miss this particular one? You had to put, and I'm gonna pair these two together because they're cousins. Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. Now you with Vince Carter was the one, in my opinion, to put the slam dunk contest back on the map. 22 years. Yeah, he played 22 years in the league. But when he was in Toronto, he was the Air Canada of the Air Canada Center. Vince Carter, the second coming, had the ups. So if you remember back in history, the last slam dunk contest was 97. If I'm not mistaken, Kobe Bryant won that one in 97. They took the event out in 98. And there was a lockout year in 99. So 2000, this was the first time the slam dunk competition was back. And you want to talk about some juice in that arena, and juice that Vince Carter brought to that slam dunk contest. Vince was that dude. Vince was that dude before Blake Griffin, before LeBron James. Vince was that dude. But before you thought it was smooth with the dunks as Zach LaVine was doing, Vince Carter was that dude. Tracy McGrady, in my opinion, with him and Grant Hill in Orlando, probably would have been to at least 1 or 2 NBA Finals if Grant Hill could have stayed healthy. Tracy put that team on his back, led the league in scoring several times. Went to Houston, did his thing. Scored 13 points in a come from behind victory over the Spurs. You want to talk about a scoring machine? Tracy McGrady was that dude. Also another stud. Let me get back to the list right now. That this is another controversial one. Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo locked down the no. Had that wave that finger like that, and that was a wrap. He wasn't letting nothing inside. The only person that he couldn't probably get that he would get bullied by was Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody else, it was lockdown mode on them. Dikembe, I think, should have been on this list. Now another person that was on this list, so we said Dikembe, we said Manu Ginobili, we said Tony Parker, we said Vince Carter, we said Tracy McGrady. Those were certain people that got snubbed. Another person that could be controversial that people felt like, that I was reading for other blogs, but I don't know about that. Chris Webber. Chris Webber Now, anything Chris Webber touched turned to gold. When he went to Sacramento, man, we weren't thinking about Sacramento. Only thing we knew about Sacramento, that I knew about Sacramento, was that it was the capital of California. And that they had this player named Mitch Richmond. And Mitch Richmond used to be from Run TMC. And when you went to Sacramento, your career was dead. And your career was over with. Chris Webber revitalized the Kings. He made Jason Williams look good. Mike Bibby on a different level look good. Peja Stojakovic, Vlade Divac, his career was about to be it. But then there was a Chris Webber sighting. Chris Webber was that dude. So he should have got some looks. I know it was hard, but doggone. But if I could take two or three people off this list, I would take Anthony Davis. And I'm going to say it. I might get some slack about this one. Dame Lillard. And then I probably would put like a Tony Parker in there. And then that power forward center position, we would have a debate between like Dikembe. You might need to put Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady in that mix. That's half of the Goon Squad from doggone Space Jam. You take two of you take the Brow and Dame time. And don't get me twisted, both of those players are particularly good. But for Anthony Davis's case, and I look at all these other players, how have they moved the game forward? All right. Derrick Rose wasn't on this list. I'm not saying he deserved to be on this list. Derrick Rose, had he not had the injuries that he had, I think he would be on this list because you had Derrick Rose, Westbrook, man, and watching them two play against each other, man. It was a fun. That's like a must-see ticket to watch. But what was another one? Oh, this is somebody else. Now, Dennis Rodman was on the list. But if we're going to put Dennis Rodman on there, I think the other person we might have to put into consideration was the Hall of Famer, Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was that defensive anchor of them Pistons when they went to, I think it was 6 or 7 straight Eastern Conference Finals, went to 2 NBA Finals. Probably should have had 2 championships in Detroit with Ben Wallace. But Ben Wallace knew his job and did it well. He was the second coming of Dennis Rodman. Wasn't like Dennis, but he did his job every night and did what he was supposed to do. So I gotta say maybe Ben Wallace should have got some looks on this list as well. There was another internet. I should have, I misplaced my list, but that was some people that I thought probably should have got a couple more looks on this particular list. Tell me what you all think about it in the comments below. And if you like the content that is on this channel that I present, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And we'll do this again with some more topics. I just found this list interesting. And I felt like they rushed this list out. They should have released this list like they had the All-Star game 25 years ago in Cleveland, and they revealed it at the All-Star game. They should have released this one at the 2022 All-Star game in Cleveland as well. Hey, but that's my time. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. Until next time, comment, tell me what you all think. But also, like, subscribe, and share. Y'all know what it is. Till next time, this is Al High. Remember, God is love, and disrespect your senses.